Hello beautiful people, it is Amanda here from Mystical Dragon. I thought that I would bring just a short video in connection to the upcoming new moon. We have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio that's coming up, and it is in combination with an eclipse. So really powerful energy, and only in a few days time. So I thought it'd be nice just to be able to present a little video to share some of the energies for this new moon eclipse that's on its way. So our Scorpio new moon eclipse in Australia here, it is going to be on October the 25th, which is next Tuesday. And that will be at 9:48 p.m. That'll be exact, that new moon. In London, that will be also on October the 25th, but that will be at 11:48 a.m. And New York, October the 25th, 6:48 a.m. So do look up where it is in your part of the world. Timeanddate.com is a really good website to take a look and check that out for yourself, no matter where you are. So let's just start. We'll break it down a little bit. The new moon itself, new moon energy, is wonderful energy for anything we want to start again, any new energy that we want to put in, a new project, planting a new seed, anything that's in its beginning phases, any kind of manifesting that we want to do is perfect to do at a new moon. Planting the seeds of hopes and dreams and wishes. Goal setting is really a good time to do at the new moon. You can set your goals, short-term goals, for only a matter of maybe a few days or a few weeks. You might set it for that whole lunar period, so for that whole month, and you can of course look even further ahead than a month as well. And it is also, of course, new moon is a great time when we want to start over, when we want to turn a new leaf and start over, create a new chapter, or put energy into anything we want to bring into our life and begin on some level. Now that Scorpio energy brings a real strong spiritual, intuitive energy with it. And in fact, the veils usually feel very thin and are usually very thin around our Scorpio new moon and full moon. And it's really interesting that at those times of the year, we actually have the witches' Sabbats of the Beltane and Samhain or Halloween. And the veils are thin. But as witches, we tend to honor or connect with or look for connections with different kinds of energies while those veils are thin. What does veils thin mean? That means that it tends to be easier for our intuition to flow through. It tends to be easier to be able to contact those that our loved ones in spirit, elemental energies, angel energies, ascended masters, all of those kind of energies that we usually need our intuition to be able to feel or have some kind of connection with. It's usually easier when the veils are thin, because it just means it's that time when it's easier to make that connection, to be able to lean into that energy. So Scorpio moon, always the veils are thin, always those spiritual connections are really strong. And the Scorpio energy will assist us with our own intuition. So you might already be feeling dreams, you might already be having intuitive insights, maybe more than usual or stronger than usual. You might be more sensitive on that feeling level, perhaps experiencing more emotions, feeling things stronger than perhaps you would normally as well. That's all very connected to that Scorpio energy. As well, Scorpio is also connected to transformation. It's connected to secrets, illumination, being able to do things like halting gossip, getting to the bottom of situations, especially the messy ones that are kind of, have hidden truths and those sorts of things. It's connected to wisdom and being able to tap into wisdom and karma. So it really has a lot of very powerful energies. On a healing level, the Scorpio energy is particularly connected to reproductive organs. So if there was any healing work that you were trying to do or achieve around the reproductive organs, this is an extra potent time to work on that as well with the Scorpio energy. Now, when it comes to the eclipse, which brings a whole nother layer again to our new moon, the eclipse, we have a partial solar eclipse that is going to occur at this new moon. Unfortunately, we won't see it here in Australia where I am. None of Australia is going to be able to physically see this eclipse, but we will be able to see it if you are, most of Europe will be able to see it, North Africa, the Middle East and parts of Asia will be able to see it. Do jump onto that timeanddate.com if you want to see what times and if you're able to see it from where you are, because they have a really great website that actually allows you to put in where you are and will show you the specifics of who's going to be able to see the eclipse and if you can see it, and even outline what times you'll be able to see the eclipse as well. So it's a really good website for this sort of thing. On a magical level, eclipses are powerful times. I always see an eclipse adds a powerful energy, whether it falls at a new moon or a full moon. It really brings another level of energy and strength to that particular moon phase. So know this will be an extra powerful new moon just because of the eclipse. But eclipses also tend to really focus on doing a lot of releasement and healing. So you may already be feeling this energy, because always in the lead up to the eclipse, we start to feel it usually a couple of weeks before the eclipse itself. You may already be feeling that healing energy. It's about releasing, so clearing anything that no longer serves us. This eclipse energy will really help you in being able to do that. It will also help in highlighting any energy that perhaps universe wants you to look at and to do some work on, and maybe look at releasing. So do know that that is that eclipse energy that might be pushing those buttons for you and trying to get you to have a look at certain aspects of your life, relationships with certain people, or even just getting you, hey, it's time to declutter, it's time to, do some clearing and full-on cleaning at home as well. So that's still part of that releasing energy that you might experience at an eclipse. So that's really those two really powerful aspects of an eclipse. We do tend to feel really sensitive around eclipses as well. And this tends to be a time, because the veil is always thin through an eclipse. So we actually have what's called an eclipse gateway that occurs through eclipses. And this eclipse that we have at the new moon is the first of two eclipses. So this one at the new moon will actually open that eclipse gateway. And our full moon that will occur at the full moon in November will close that eclipse gateway. And so in the lead up to and through that gateway, and usually a little bit after that gateway, you will experience all of that sensitivity. You'll experience that, the buttons being pressed. And because the veil is thin, people will also tend to decide that it's a bit easier for them to cross the veil. And so we do tend to see more people that do pass away from old age, or deciding that they've had enough, perhaps they're really sick, those sorts of things, not just randomly for no reason. But we do often see that there are more people that tend to pass away around an eclipse gateway. So that is a possibility as well that you might be aware of. I know a couple of times through some of the eclipse gateways, there's been a lot of public figures that, it's like we've seen suddenly a lot of them that start passing away, and it's probably just that energy. It's an easier time where they can make that transition. So nothing untoward, it's just that powerful energy, and it's just easier for them to do so. So we have this new moon in Scorpio, we have this eclipse, so really powerful layer of energy. I would really encourage you to focus on the spiritual, intuitive side of things at this new moon. It really feels like that is going to be a powerful area to be focused. So purposely trying to connect with energies like your elemental energies, any loved ones that have crossed over, angels, ascended masters, any of those energies that you're feeling called to make a connection with. I would definitely encourage you to be consciously doing that around this new moon. That might be perhaps In the case of things like elementals or even angels, you can set up a little altar to honor them. You can put offerings out for them, speak to them regularly. Go to that altar and just take a few minutes maybe to speak to them, whether that's out loud or in your own mind. Even with our loved ones that have passed, you can set up an ancestor altar, which has got photos of those that you are honoring. You can set a place at the table and, have a meal there, or a plate with even just a couple of things on it. It doesn't have to be the full meal, to honor them, or just light a candle on the altar to honor them and connect with them. And just taking regular time to think about them and talk to them and be quiet and open to hear them or feel them. So that's a really powerful thing to do. Definitely divination is a really encouraged at the Scorpio new moon as well. Whatever divination tools you really connect with, reach for those, or even maybe have a try at some new ones or ones you need practice with. Cards, pendulums, doing some psychometry, runes, whatever it is that talks to you. Maybe even do some mediumship, or some straight intuitive stuff, some automatic writing, whatever it is. Making some time, some deliberate time. Perhaps do a meditation and then sit and do some divination. Perhaps ask some focused questions if there's areas of your life you need extra guidance with, you're feeling stuck with. Or even looking ahead in the next month, couple of months, or 12 months. This is a great time to be looking ahead and seeing, what's going on, maybe to assist your planning, or what you want to be doing in the next few months or the next year. So really powerful time for divination, because of course that energy will flow through to you a lot easier around this time. Definitely make time for meditation as well. You might want to incorporate it in along with some of these things I'm suggesting, or make it, decide that this is something you want to do more regularly and incorporate it more into your life. Even like 10-15 minutes a day, you will find makes a difference. But meditation is definitely a really good tool to focus on at this time. Doing any kind of spiritual reading, spiritual studies, it doesn't have to be specifically doing a magic spell or a ritual around our new moon. You might start a book or start some kind of spiritual study, which would be ideal. New moon is about those new beginnings, starting things. So, perhaps making a decision and starting something like that around this time would be ideal for you. And of course, on a spell level, definitely you could have a look at doing some spells that focus on assisting your growth on a spiritual or psychic level. And I do have one or two of those in Mystical Dragon's Book of Shadows on our website at mysticaldragon.com.au. There's about 40 spells that I have there with the instructions on how to do them and what you need. They're not elaborate, they're simple spells that anyone can do. So have a look there. You will find there is a couple of psychic spells that you might feel really called to one of them to be able to do at this new moon. Plus, of course, Mystical Dragon, we also have spell boxes that we sell through our store and through our e-store. And they have all your instructions as well as all that you need to be able to do those spells, all contained in a box ready to go. And they have different focuses. We have, I think it's around 15 or 20 spell boxes now that are available with different focuses. So maybe check that out if you're wanting, a little bit of ease with being able to do your spell work at this new moon. The other area I would encourage you to perhaps consider at the Scorpio new moon eclipse is perhaps looking at the healing side and that releasing side of things, especially if you're finding you're really getting called by universe to perhaps do some releasement, do some healing, do some forgiveness, to let go of certain things. So this might be a focus you particularly want to take at the new moon. It might be that to help you with connecting with that energy, you book a spiritual healing, or you book a counseling session. You book a session with a professional to help you and assist you with getting that healing process underway in a really solid and structured way, because of course if you see a practitioner, they will give you advice after that session as to where to from here, what things that they would encourage you to be doing. So that's an option and an idea to do around the new moon. If you are trained in some form of healing, then taking time to actually, okay, I'm going to regularly or maybe daily, I'm going to purposely do so much healing on myself, 10 minutes before bed, or 10 minutes in the morning before I get out of bed and start the day. I'm purposely going to focus on giving myself some healing. That's a fantastic thing to do. You can perhaps start looking at, is there a book that you're feeling guided to that would assist you in the healing? Like You Can Heal Your Life is one that I highly recommend. It's been so helpful on so many levels for myself and clients that I've had over the years. It's by Louise Hay. Fantastic book. We stock it at Mystical Dragon. There's plenty of places that stock it. Really good book. That really looks at lots of different areas in your life. So you can either read the book from start to finish or go straight to a particular aspect of your life to start delving into that particular area. Also doing things like chakra meditations. The chakras get a little bit undervalued, and when it comes to healing, there's such good areas for us to be really focused on and connecting into. So whether you already feel confident in doing your own chakra meditations, or you want to do a guided chakra meditation to help take you through the chakras, balancing all of them, checking in with them, seeing if you've got guidance, oh, this one's a bit out of balance, what do I need to do, all of that sort of stuff. And even when you find a chakra or a couple of chakras that are out of balance, knowing what kinds of crystals to reach for to help in the rebalancing of those chakras, that can be really supportive. Or even if you know that you want to do certain healing, being able to connect that into specific chakras so that you can perhaps reach for those certain chakras or affirmations or other tools that will help you to be able to work through that healing process from that angle can be really, really good. And thinking about crystals still, perhaps even looking at crystal layouts. Is there certain crystals you need to be working with, or perhaps you could meditate with and put on certain parts of the body in certain ways that will help to release energy for you, help to support you, because some of this healing stuff, it's not an easy journey, and we need that added support through that journey. So think about maybe other crystals. Is there certain crystal layouts, as in where you can lay your crystals specifically, or other tools along those lines that you could start doing, or maybe do a specific healing on the night of the new moon eclipse. Of course, we can do things like charging up our moon water as well. And even though there's not a moon to see, it is really great to get outside and just be able to literally bathe in some of that new moon energy as well. I love to whisper hopes and dreams out to the universe, out to Goddess, have that time of kind of recentering and really working out, where do I want to head from here? It's a really good time once a month to be able to just center, reorganize yourself and work out, am I still going the right direction? Do I need to adjust anything? So I hope that this has been helpful for you, giving you some inspiration as to what you might like to do for yourself at this upcoming new moon. As I say, it is just under a week away, so you still have time to plan and prepare. I really hope that you have a beautiful new moon connection for yourself, sending you out lots of new moon blessings, and I look forward to connecting with you again in the near future.